Hi, I'm Wyken Seagrave, and I'm going to explain to users of the Big History European Network website, bighistory.eu, who have joined the network, created an account on the website, and have got author permission. In other words, you can create posts. And I'm going to try to explain how to do that. So let's have a look at the page that you should see once you log in. The web page you go to log in will have been sent to you in an email when you registered or when we registered you. So this is a view of what you should see, and it looks pretty complicated and rather frightening if you haven't used this before. So first of all, let me point out that you can ignore almost everything you see there. What you're going to do is create a post. So it's the third option down, and it says posts, and then all posts, for example, will show you all the posts that have been created so far, and if you hover over each of those posts you will see that it says view. In other words, you can look at the post but you cannot edit. What you want to do is to add a new post, and now you will be able to create your own post. So this says, the way I see it, the first time you come into it, it shows this pop-up box, WP Edit Tip. Well, we're not interested in that particularly, although you might be when you first come here, but I would dismiss that. It's just telling me how to use the system. Actually, I suppose we are interested in it because if you haven't used this system, runs under a very well-known piece of software called Wordpress, and having a little Wordpress skill is extremely useful because it's one of the most widely used blogging websites. Originally they were for people creating their own particular blogs, but now it's used by all sorts of people, including us. So if you go into the menu here, there's one on the right with two horizontal bars. If you click on that, you see an extra line, which is why there's two things there. You can show or hide this, but it's extremely useful. It lets you format a paragraph, for example, and do lots of other useful stuff. So what you need, every blog needs a post. Excuse me, my computer's telling me to restart, which I don't want to do. So let's create a post. This user here is called Testy Tester. So I think personally that every member of you might, as a user, you might want to create a page. Let's suppose you want to create a page which describes you, what you do, what you're trying to achieve. You can create as many pages as you want. By the way, there is a slight complication here. It's not very complicated, but it's worth bearing in mind. WordPress uses two different words, two different concepts for describing pages on the website. One is a page, one is called a post. Fundamentally there's no difference, but you will be creating posts, and in fact you don't have the option to create pages, only the administrator of the website. You are an author on this website, so I'll refer to them sometimes as pages, although technically they're called posts. Okay, small item. So I suggest this person, Mr. Testy Tester, might want to create a page, a post, with his name at the top. and he will write, I am a member of the Big History European Network, and I work for Penny Press within the UK. Something like you're going to produce something far more interesting than that, I'm sure. Over on the right here, if I click publish, which I'm not going to do yet because I'm not ready, if I click publish, that post will immediately become available, visible to the world. So be sure you want to do that before you click publish. There's something important down here, scrolling down the page, called categories. Categories, at the moment we've only just started, this website is very new, but there are two categories. One's called diary, for want of a better name. It should be called news. I think I'll change that. But here we have a category called members, and if you're a member who's writing about themselves, then I would like you please to add in the category members, which will allow visitors to the website later on to easily see and collect together a list of all posts created by members. It's one of the things we will add. So I think if you're creating a post that describes yourself, you should click it as members. Later there'll be other categories, and what you should do before you publish it is browse through and see which of those categories fits. There's going to be a lot of them. Early days. So when you're happy, there's nothing else to add. There's lots of stuff down here, none of which is of any interest to us, although there's lots of power in here. For example, you can create a podcast and add it. But anyway, for now, keep it simple. We've created a title, we've written in some text, we've updated the categories. So now I click publish, and we wait a few seconds for that to be sent off to the website. While that's happening, I should point out this website, there we are, it's live now. So once it's published, this will say update. So if I change this, I have to click update. If I change this and don't click update and try to move to a different page, it will say, do you really want to move away from this page, or do you want to save what you've done? I should just point out, ladies and gentlemen, this website is hosted by an American company called GoDaddy, one of the biggest hosting services in the world. But the server, because we're based in Europe, the server is based in Europe, and sometimes during 2016 there have been attacks on that server from people who don't like GoDaddy, which means that they have to control who can access it. So recently we've had problems sometimes with the server, with the website. We host a lot of websites with them not being available. However, it's getting better, so usually it is available. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, if there are any questions, then you can contact. The best way is to add a comment to the website. So, or you can contact me. You can write to wykin@bighistory.eu.